When you really have nothing, you take what you can get. You know, a lot of these people that come from these white collared areas and like they don't know what it really means to struggle and come up out the mud, man. They don't get it. And I do.
Today's interview is with the incredible Zion. He is famed for his Netflix documentary and his incredible wrestling skills, recently appearing on America's Got Talent. He's a musician, he's an artist, he's a wrestler, an athlete, and he did all of this whilst being born with no legs. And then he was put into the terrible foster care system where he had to fight and fend for himself, eventually becoming one of the best college wrestlers there is, and also known today for his amazing motivational talking. Get ready for 2024 with today's sponsor, mulliganbrothers.com, where you can get the Not a Journal with the link in the description for a discount, and also the Memento Mori posters that show you how much time you have used, how much time you have left, and they remind you constantly that one day you will die. If that does not get you motivated, I don't know what will. So get ready for 2024 with the Not a Journal and Memento Mori poster with discounts linked in the description for a limited time only. But before that, let's jump into this amazing video with Zion. So just introduce yourself, who you are, what you do.
Okay, my name is Zion Clark, AKA Big Z. I'm a two-time Emmy Award winner on Netflix. I'm an actor, I'm an author, professional fighter, pro track and field athlete, ranked one of the top fastest racers in the United States. And on top of that, I'm a philanthropist and just a good dude.
I'd usually build into this, but it feels like it's an important part of your life, was finding music and like using it as like a therapy and escapism.
Music for me is definitely like an escape because like if I didn't have it, I would have probably like killed somebody, and I mean that most seriously, because like I grew up in turmoil, and like bro, it got to a point where like I remember one day I got so mad I snapped a guitar neck in half with my bare hand, you know, and then I didn't have a guitar. But you know, like music for me is so like I don't feel emotions like that. You know, wrestling was cool, but I didn't like when I don't have a wrestling mat or a punching bag accessible, I have music. Because if I don't have one or the other, it's just not cool for me. And growing up, it gives me like a sense of release. And on top of that, when you fight or when you work out or when you make music, it's both sides of your brain are lighting up simultaneously. That's only one of the few instances when it does. So like for me, it's like it helps those synapses like move at a higher rate, and I'm able to feel good about myself. And it releases, what's the happiness? Serotonin. Yeah, so it releases serotonin into your bloodstream, and that just naturally makes us happy. That's why when people are so sad and they work out and they don't work out, and then you're like depressed, but I'm like, let's go work out. I bet you won't be depressed any longer because your mind's gonna be distracted, and you're gonna be healthy. So like, tire yourself out or make music, do something productive that gets your brain flowing. And that's what's really done it for me.
Was there a point of zoning out with the music? Like,
oh dude, I zone out to music even now. You know, I've worked with guys like Big Crit and King Joel and a few other artists like Quavo and stuff on some songs and stuff like that. And like when you catch the wave of the music, man, you just get lost in the sauce, you know? And you know, I'm blessed to be able to work with the type of people I do in the industry like that, and it's about getting lost in music. It's not about making all the money and all that, you know. That's a plus, it's fun, don't get me wrong, it's fun. But it's about the passion of what you have for it. You can tell who's in it for the money and who's in it for the actual music, you feel?
Finding wrestling, like what was the journey of finding wrestling and the opinion of other people at the time when you first began?
I was a kid, I didn't give a shit. I'm just like, say it bluntly, I didn't care about opinions of other people as a kid. You know, wrestling, when I got started, I was given a flyer in art class. You know, like the most simplest way you could have like started any sport as a first grader. You know, given a flyer, looked at this flyer, brought it home with the practice. You know, like that's how I got my start. But like people talking and stuff, when I'm wrestling and stuff like that, I don't know what it is, but like I have very selective hearing, and I can zone out everything and just focus on like one person's voice. Like I can hear my mom from the other side of an arena, just because like that's my mom. I know her voice. Or like my last fight, everybody's screaming, everybody's cheering. I can hear Coach Tone. I can hear my boy AJ, like in the corner behind me. Even though it's the place is roaring, I can still hear them and hear their instruction on what I'm gonna do. Don't get me wrong, I know what I have to do in there, but like when it's so loud, you gotta be able to drown out everything. It's your spot. It's your time to showcase what you're doing. So like, who gives a shit if you try to tell me I can't do this or tell me I can't do that, because I'm gonna just do it and then you'll really feel stupid. You feel me? So and it's not about making people feel stupid. It's not even about proving them wrong. It's about proving myself right.
Craig said something about when you go for world records, he said he's never seen somebody be able to like zone out. Like, what is that skill where you can like zone out and just get into a like special place?
I don't know, man. Like I've always been like that. Like when I set my last 2 world records this past year, it was, I'm gonna be honest with you, I never trained a single day when I set them. I was just in the gym training MMA. So my body was just already at that elite level. So breaking 2 more world records kind of seemed like easy work a little bit. So when I go do stuff like that, if you like what you're doing, like it's so simple. If you like what you're doing, it's gonna be like you're not really working hard. You're enjoying yourself. So me, like setting world records, I like a challenge. I hold the world record for most diamond push-ups in 3 minutes. I did how many did I do? I did like 375, something like that. I gotta fact check that, but I forgot how many I did. But yeah, I did a lot. But when I'm doing stuff like that, even like when I was doing the diamond push-ups, it got to a point where like I felt like I was gonna throw up and my body was on fire. And they were like, you got two more push-ups before you beat the world record. So I did 8 more. You feel me? And then I stopped. Because I didn't want to just beat it, but I wanted to set the bar so high that nobody else could touch it but me. You feel me? And that's what I did. And when I'm doing stuff and I zone out like that, it's I don't know, it's just a thing. I don't know how to explain it.
So that, I mean, taking that into wrestling, becoming elite, what was the changes in people's opinions at the time? Because I'd seen the documentary, and I remember at the start of the documentary, there was a mention of people would say to you, there's no chance of you succeeding, this is ridiculous, don't let him compete. By the end of it, they were saying, oh, he's got an unfair advantage, this is ridiculous, don't let him compete. Same opinion, different mindset.
Yeah, no, because that's the thing. When I lost all the time, nobody had nothing to say, but when I started beating those very same people that beat me, and I started beating everybody, then they're like, oh, they're taking it easy on him. Oh, he has an unfair advantage. I was like, did I have an unfair advantage when I was getting my head kicked in? No. It's just, I figured out how my body moves and I'm able to move my body better than yours, and that's why I'm winning. You feel? And people look at that and they're like, I don't know, people hate, I don't even know where I'm going with that. People hate success. And that's just the world we live in. If it's not you, then you're probably going to be jealous if you're not comfortable with yourself. If you're comfortable with yourself, you want to see the fellow man, the fellow woman win at all times. I want to see everybody around me win. Just like, don't steal from me. That's just but like, you know what I mean? So everybody deserves a chance to win. And once they do, you can't be like, I'm rooting for you. And then once I start winning, you can't be like, I'm jealous. You feel?
Happens a lot. How many times did you lose?
I lost about 200 times-ish. It's a lot.
What kept you going?
I have friends. Like actual friends and homies. Like the same dudes I was on the streets with were also some of my teammates. So like we wrestle together, we'd be outside till 3 a.m. together, you feel me? So like it's just kind of, it's like they were my brothers. They're still my brothers. You feel me? So like that's what kept me going. And like I didn't have a family growing up, so I sometimes I would get locked out of my house. I wouldn't get to eat a meal for like 4 or 5 days at a time. So like if the homies could, they would give me food, they would give me clothes, they would help me wash clothes. So like They were my brothers, and like on the wrestling team. Okay, let's go beat everybody up together. You feel me? That's how that was for me.
So I mean, having that family, like, how would you describe the importance of that, especially like with going through, like, I think you said turmoil. How would you basically describe that period of your life? Like, to somebody like me who doesn't understand that, like, what was you going through at the time to have that family back you up?
Pure chaos, man. Like one moment I have a roof over my head, the next moment I don't. One moment I have a plate of food, the next week I don't at all for the whole week. You know what I mean? Like one moment I'm clean, the other moment I might not have showered for 14 days. You know, like that's how I grew up. You know, people don't understand, like when you really have nothing, you take what you can get. And so for now, I have everything I want right now, and I'm doing everything I want now, and it puts puts the perspective of appreciation. You know, a lot of cats that come from these white collared areas, and like they don't know what it really means to struggle and come up out the mud, man. They don't get it, and I do. And so with that being said, having that setting, it makes life easy. You know, like if I can survive going through the trenches, you know, being chased down by cats, and like being shot at, dealing with a whole bunch of other gang shit, I can survive out here. And just because I dealt with that, don't mean I'm gonna be like that to everybody. But like it's kind of like, it's like how do you want to approach me? You feel? Because right off rip, I'll be cordial. But on the flip side, you want to show me the flip side, I have another side too. And that's the side that raised me. And my brothers, that family setting, I didn't grow up without a family. I grew up without a family, but I still had a family, and those were my brothers. You feel me?
Yeah, man. So last two. The mentality required, like, and that you've got now, was it developed through all the adversities you've had to face?
I mean, yeah, through everything from the how hard my life was growing up to how many times I lost on the wrestling mat. You know what I mean? You know what I mean? Like everything was, I learned how to be better after each occasion, after each occurrence. You know, after each situation, I was like, okay, well that went to shit. So let's go back, look at it, figure out what went wrong, where it went wrong, how it went wrong, and then go do it again, but with better intentions.
Why help other people now? Like, what's the point of like doing camps like this today? You know, the work that you and Craig are doing. Like, what's the point of it?
Isn't it selfish of me if I go through my entire life and build up all this knowledge, build up all this power, all this wealth, and don't share it with people? That's selfish as all get out. Sorry, I'm trying not to swear.
Don't worry about it, man.
But like, you know, like having knowing the stuff, knowing the shit that I know, and moving the way I do, I move different. You know, so that being said, why, if I have all this knowledge and I live for 80 years and don't tell anybody anything about I know, and just keep all the knowledge, all the wealth, all the money, all the shit to myself, then I'm selfish. But if I'm able to share it as I build and bring everybody with me, that's how you win. That's how you actually make change. You know, some cats are like, oh, I donated $500,000 to this cause, I'm making change. I was like, no, probably not. People are probably using that for their taxes and writing it off. Like, go actually get up off your ass and go do something. I went to South Africa and helped start. Me and Craig went to South Africa, and I helped start these programs with VetPaw for animal preservation. And like, I went to all the surrounding villages in the area and like helped, like did boxing camps for like a week. You feel? So like, that's like, if I can't do something like that with the type of leverage and power I have, then I should just stay at home. You know what I mean?
I think we've got everything, but I'd shoot myself if I didn't ask you this question, because our fan base loves Conor McGregor, and there's a huge, I mean, when you did the MMA fight, you were getting a lot of shit from people saying this is ridiculous. Then you went and won the fight, and like people like Conor were responding, all that kind of stuff. Like, what was that like? You know, and to have respect from all the fighters around the world as well.
I mean, I told y'all I was a fucking dog and nobody believed me. Sorry, I had to get that off my chest. But like for real, like man, like I told been telling cats for 5 years. I was like, I'm gonna be in the cage. 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 You feel me? Everybody's just like, okay, okay. And then I step in the cage and I win. Yeah, and then like they're like, okay, you feel me? And I'm like, yeah, yeah, you feel? So with that being said, I demand respect. You feel me? I don't demand attention. I demand respect because that's all I want. You don't have to give me attention, but respect what I do and don't act like you don't see it.
What an incredible story from Zion. For me, the no excuses attitude that he has absolutely defines him as a person. At first, when he started wrestling, they told him that it was a disadvantage. He's never going to win. He's never going to be able to beat anybody. By the time he was finished and he become the elite wrestler that he is today, they told him that he's got an unfair advantage. So he couldn't win either way. It was absolutely brilliant story. Thank you so much to Zion. And a massive thank you to Craig as well for making this possible. He is Zion's right-hand man, and he's a massive feature in the documentary coming out on the main channel, so keep your eyes peeled for that. Get ready for 2024 with today's sponsor, the Not a Journal on mulliganbrothers.com, where you can get discounts with the link in the description, and the Memento Mori poster, a poster that reminds you that you're going to die. You fill in each square, and let me tell you, it's a very humbling experience to know on that poster somewhere is a square that you will no longer fill in. To me, that's been the most powerful thing in my life. The Not a Journal is a journal, ironically named the Not a Journal because journaling has got so ridiculous recently where you have to fill in 101 things. This is about writing down your goals, getting done every single day and affirming your goals every single day. This is what got us this studio. We use these journals every single day in our own form and we thought we'd put it out to you guys. So thank you so much to everybody who supported us. It is a limited time only up until 2024. So get ready for the new year. Get the gifts for your friends, link in the description. Guys, thank you for watching. If you want to help support us further on the channel, you can become a member with the join button down below. I'll see you in the next one. Peace.